Hello, my name is Sally Shalabi and I'm a Palestinian Jordanian living in Amman, Jordan. And I am locked down here in quarantine, and I would love to tell you a story about a time when we could travel. The story happens about maybe 15 years ago, 10 years, no, definitely more than 10 years ago, around 15 years ago. And I had decided to take a trip. I had prepared myself, I was getting ready to go, and when one of my friends found out where I was going, he said, "Can I join you? Can I come along?" And of course. And we end up going to Thailand together. We arrive in Bangkok, we're in our hotel, and we're really excited. And we end up spending our days looking at the sights, walking through the markets, exploring, and at night we go out to dinners and, explore the nightlife, the clubs, and the parties and all of that. And one night we were, at this club, and I was just really bored. I was not enjoying myself. So I decided, you know what, you're having a good time. You stay and I'll go back. And he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm 100% sure. But he wanted to make sure I was okay. So he walks me out to the street and we stop a cab together, and I'm in the cab and he goes back in and the cab's about to take off. And I'm like, there was something not right. I didn't feel very good about this cab driver, and I said, "Stop." And I got out. And I looked around and I realized this was my opportunity. You see, in the days that had passed, my friend wouldn't let me touch a piece of street food. Whatever stall we went by, whatever thing they were offering, he was like, "No, you'll get sick. You can't eat this. You can't do this. We have to eat in proper restaurants. We have to eat cooked food." And I'm like, but street food is always part of travel, and he wouldn't have it. But now that he wasn't with me and the street was full of vendors, I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I looked and I found one guy who was selling some skewers with balls on them, balls of meat of some sort. He had the most people around it. And I thought, if the locals are having it and they're crowding in front of it, that means it must be good. So I went and I put myself in line and I said, "I want one of these, and one of these." And the man pours some sauce over them and puts them in a clear plastic bag and gives them to me. I'm really happy that I have this street food. And I go find a cab that I like, and I give him the address of the hotel, and we're off. And I'm eating these delicious things. To this day, I don't know what they are, but they were delicious. They were so good. I wanted more. And so before we get to the hotel, I asked the driver to stop. I had recognized the street. There's maybe less than a 5-minute walk. Maybe it was 200, 300 meters. I thought maybe I'll find someone else selling something exciting on the street. And I didn't. The street wasn't a nightlife street, and so there wasn't really a lot of people on the street anyway. But as I was walking, I noticed an old man with his daughter, sitting with him, and a dog at their feet. They were sitting on this dirty old blanket and had a sign up. The sign said, "Fortune telling, 500 baht." I looked in my purse, and sure enough, I had 500 baht. Actually, that was all I had. You see, when I travel, I only put in my wallet what I would spend that day so that I wouldn't overspend, and if something happened to my wallet, I wouldn't lose so much, and I'd still have money when I got back to my hotel. So I was on my last 500 bahts, and 500 baht is maybe like half a dollar. It wasn't much, and I was like, okay, I could do this. And I take out my 500 baht and I give it to him, and he asks for my hands. My hands are sticky. I'd just eaten something saucy and delicious with them. I didn't have a wet wipe or a towel or anything to wipe my hands with, not even a tissue. And he looks at them and he's disgusted. But then he takes out the dirtiest rag I've ever seen. It actually had no color. And he wipes my hands, and I'm like, oh, this is disgusting. But anyways, he's reading my fortune. He's looking at my palms, and then he looks at my face, and he looks at me and he says, you are powerful, like elephant. Big, strong, big ears, small nose. And I'm like, elephant? I tried not to be offended. I figured this must be good since he's calling me powerful. And then he asked me, then he asked me for my birth year and birth date, and I gave it to him. And he pulls out this notebook that's kind of like poofy from all the humidity, and takes out his pencil and starts scribbling and scribbling and scribbling and doing math and numbers. I have no idea what he did, but what he did do at the end of all of that was look at me and said, 30 good, 31 better, 32 better, good money, good job, good lover. I like that. I went home that day feeling so happy that when I hit 30, I'm going to have really good fortune. And 31 is going to be better, and 32 is going to be better. And sure enough, when I hit 30 and 31 and 32, things did get better and better. And I did have good money, good job, good lover. But it seems this fortune teller was very smart because he stopped at 32. Had he continued to 33, he would have told me my life would have gone down the drain. I would lose the good money, I would lose the good lover, and I would lose the good job. But what I will tell you, and what I have learned over the years and has been passed down as wisdom in our culture, are two sayings that I carry with me and have carried me through hardship. The first one is, and I'll tell you these in Arabic and then translate. The first one is دوام الحال من المحال, which means no situation will ever be fixed. It's impossible for a situation to stay the same. It will change. And the second one is ما بعد الشدة إلا الفرج. After hardship comes the light. And after this hardship and all of us being in our homes and fighting together this virus, I hope that you will find the light. And until then, stay safe, stay at home, and be well. And may your life be full of light and full of stories. Salam.